You don't think Terry Francona wants Pete Alonso in the middle of that lineup? Of course he does. And like I said, Terry Francona wants. I bet you Nick Kroll and Castellini, were like, listen, we're going to put together a team for you to win now, and they have, and they've done a really nice job. And that team they put together right now is a team that can win that Central, no doubt about it. But you add Pete Alonso.
And I'm in love with the good life. Can't give it up. Make it to the top. Keep climbing. I wanna live it up. The good life. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. The good life. Good life. Oh, good life. Good life. Good life.
Boom! Coming in hot, Chinchy, on a Monday. What's up, man?
What's up? Coming in hot. Groundhog saw his shout. 6 more weeks of winter. I say no. I say no, Groundhog. No.
Listen. I don't want to hear whatever that groundhog's name is. I don't want to hear it. Okay.
Punxsutawney Phil.
Punxsutawney Phil. Okay, Punxsutawney Phil. Listen, you're not my weatherman. Okay?
No.
You're not my weatherman. You know.
Yeah, I just saw actually here in New York, the Staten Island. There's a Staten Island groundhog, and he's like, no, it's going to be spring.
Come on, no way, dude. Is there really a Staten Island groundhog?
I laughed when I saw it.
Everyone needs to get their own groundhog. Okay, we don't just lock into Punxsutawney Phil or whatever. We gotta.
Yeah.
That's just he's a tourist trap.
He is a tourist
That's
trap.
all it's all it is. It's a big party. Everyone's drinking. Comes out. Here's Punxsutawney Phil. All right, let's go to the bar and get Bloody Marys.
That's what they do. Like, apparently, they get bombed all day in that town.
I know.
In that town. I love that. A great movie, by the way. Bill Murray, Groundhog Day.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
Andy McDowell.
She had it going on back in the day. She had it going on back in the day.
Say no.
What'd you do this weekend, bro?
Dude, I got healthy, first of all. And then me and Jess basically, now that we can walk and aren't sick as dogs, we basically like fumigated our house and got almost like spring cleaning ready. I'm starting to get the yard ready a little. I'm very excited.
Nice. Did you get all the Christmas stuff down?
We did a couple weeks ago. Have you?
I
still got stuff?
Dude, right now, I'm looking at the tree. Sarah took the lights off, but we got to get the stuff upstairs. And
Dude,
we've been traveling a lot lately, so.
Yeah, some people in my neighborhood still got their lights up. That's a lot. That's
we
lot.
gotta get it down.
You got your lights on still, too?
No, our lights aren't on.
Right.
The lights are down, which is good. But the tree's just sitting there, like, kind of like, it's kind of looking at me like, hey, man, get me in the attic. You know what I mean? Like, why am I hanging out here? I got no ornaments on, no lights. Get me to the attic.
Yeah, there you go. All right, some light bulbs flashing over the weekend. Jack Flaherty back to Detroit, Rock City, dude. How are we feeling?
Yeah, I think it's a great pickup, man. It makes sense. Jack Flaherty back to 2 years, 35 mil, something like that. Mm-hmm. Great park to pitch in, dude. Terrible park to hit in. I've been there. Great park to pitch in. I remember Leland like, hey, you only hit me 4 home runs this year. I was like, hey, listen, guy, you go try and hit the ball to right center, Comerica Park. It's an out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, you're out. It tracks it down. So, great pickup for the Tigers, man. I think they got it. Scooble obviously is the best pitcher in baseball in the top of that rotation. Flaherty was great for them last year. They traded him at the deadline to the Dodgers, and then he went and won a World Series title, and it worked out great too for. It worked out great for everybody, dude.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, so that's not necessarily a bad thing, right?
Right, absolutely. Yes, it's good when everybody gets along. Just like, this Lakers trade that just happened. Did you see that?
Oh, dude.
That's unbelievable.
Doncic, is that his name?
Yes.
Doncic?
Yes, he's 25. He's
25.
A five-time first team all freaking NBA. 25 years old. But to your point, the Mavericks guy, GM was like, time will tell if this works out for everybody. And it's like, time is the ultimate answer.
Oh, it's interesting. Also, too, I think about big deals, and we were talking before we came on about, remember when Aroldis Chapman, he went to the Cubs from the Yankees, and everyone's like, oh man, what a great pickup. And then all of a sudden he's back with the Yankees the next year. So it was like, the Cubs would do anything. They got Gleyber Torres too. So Gleyber Torres went from the Cubs to the Yankees. Gleyber had a nice career with the Yankees, was a mainstay there for years. Chapman went to the Cubs and broke the curse and was a big piece of it. Theo, great move. And then he went back to the Yankees the next year and had a great few years. And had a great career with the Yankees and all that stuff. Like, that's kind of like,
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be, it's over. So Jack Flaherty goes back to the tie. Hey, man, we had a great time here. It all worked out. They got 2 big prospects from the Dodgers last year that are going to be future players in that lineup. And Jack Flaherty's back with the Tigers, so with a World Series title.
Yeah, and again, we keep saying like the Tigers are the most overlooked playoff team from last year because they got out early, but they're building and they keep building, and they have a great manager. That rotation is nice right now. I mean, the Tigers they should be maybe the front runners in that division. They're legit, dude. Legit.
They got a legit team. The rotation's great. Don't forget about the bullpen was one of the best in baseball. The way AJ Hinch uses them too is at another level. But they obviously know you can't have that recipe. That's actually a recipe for disaster if you're leaning on the bullpen for 162. If you're leaning on them in the postseason and you're the first to 11 wins, that's so different than playing every night for 162. I mean, guys just can't take that. So you got to have good starters, and Flaherty makes sense. And I saw something too. It's like, wow, does that mean Bregman's back in the mix? Does that mean the Tigers are making moves?
They are focused on him. So
we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, let's see what happens here.
That park would not be good for Bregman. Seriously, I just don't think. I think you will see a big offensive dip.
Yeah,
Bregman goes to the Tigers.
That's what he must be weighing in his head right now. But
I would be.
But he still doesn't have a team now. Fun, exciting thing. I thought of Sean Casey and all the Reds Nation when I heard our dear friend the Hammer, Jon Heyman, came out the other day and suggested, without this isn't just thought. He's saying there's rumblings that your Cincinnati Reds could be considering Pete Alonso, and he gave a good point as to why Pete should consider going there. They call it the Great American Small Park for a reason. Ryan Dempster coined that term, and many others. Pete goes there, gets a couple opt-outs, not outside the realm of possibility he could hit 50 home runs being in that ballpark. It's half the season, don't you think?
Bro, I think it's a great move. Let him go there, 3 years, $80 million, opt out after year 1, go hit 50 tanks, get his confidence back, swing back. Next thing you know, he's back on the market. And he proves himself.
And think about what that lineup could look like. You could have 40 to 50 in it. And you got Ellie De Cruz there. You
don't think Terry Francona wants Pete Alonso in the middle of that lineup? Of course he does. Like I said, Terry Francona wants, I bet you Nick Kroll and Castellini, were like, listen, we're going to put together a team for you to win now. And they have. They've done a really nice job. And that team they put together right now is a team that can win that Central. No doubt about it. But you add Pete Alonso, and the Hammer, our guy, the Hammer, Jon Heyman, he ain't just making stuff up. Somebody said something to Heyman.
Yeah,
that's a legit source. He's not just putting it out there.
Yeah, I agree. And again, I mean, division's always up in the air, that division. You're going to need hitting because the Pirates have some guy that's pretty good, a couple guys that are pretty good. I don't know, man. It is really amazing how the legendary coaches in all of sports, but in baseball, can help sway a franchise from going, you could be mid-market, but they're not mid-market minded right now. That changes things. When you got a manager, excuse me, he's a vet, he's done it before, and he's a legend.
Right.
All right, in other news, this is the old guard still coming out there trying to throw the ball. You were at the network when this went down. Actually, I think you were on the air when this went down.
I was on the air, yeah.
Scherzer to the Jays. Give these fans your thoughts.
Well, dude, $15.5 million. Why wouldn't you do it? Look at that. You look at that rotation now, with Barrios, Gausman, Bassett, Scherzer, Rodriguez now goes to the pen. There's one other guy I'm missing, but that's a pretty good 4 or 5 right there.
Sure,
that's legit. Manoah's going to be coming back at some point. Hopefully, you get a guy like Scherzer could help him out too. Maybe give him a couple tips. And then you've signed Santander with Guerrero. Don't forget, Bo Bichette had a terrible year last year. Was basically hurt all year. He played 80 games, never got going, was banged up. You got him on a contract year, Guerrero on a contract year. That lineup is now looking pretty good, and you've shored up the bullpen. You got Garcia. You went and signed Jeff Hoffman. You have a bullpen now that you're looking to go, wow, that's some pretty big arms they have in that pen. So I think the Blue Jays, Ross Atkins did a great job of kind of down the stretch, making a couple nice moves. And it makes sense, man. It makes sense.
It does make sense. And hey,
Dude, Scherzer's about to be top 10 all time in strikeouts. He's just outside it. He's just behind Verlander, which is kind of funny.
Isn't that
I think Verlander's 10, Scherzer's 11, something like that. And they're closing in on like Walter Johnson.
and it's amazing that they were teammates. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Like Scherzer was like kind of almost like the next. Like this is a guard. We saw CeCe's going into the Hall of Fame now. These two guys are the horses, like the two biggest horses left in Major League Baseball that we've seen. Hopefully guys like Skeens and can carry the torch. But I mean, is he a Hall of Famer, Max Scherzer?
Oh, dude. Slammed up. First ballot. What does he have? Three Cy, doesn't he have 3 Cy Youngs?
Let's play the game. Hold on.
No doubt first ballot Hall of Famer.
I love it.
He's got 2 championships, 3 Cy Youngs.
Pitch with a broken nose.
Yeah, he's going to be top 10 in strikeouts.
Yeah.
He's got over 200 wins, which nowadays seems like.
How about the win percentage? 216 and 112. That's 659 clip.
That's ridiculous, dude. That's ridiculous. And he's still pitching. He's in his 40s. There's something to be said about durability.
There's something to be said about
You know what I mean?
durability. Yes. Look back at his numbers. And, he hasn't been able to pitch in recent years, but come on, man. You can't bet against guys like that. You can't bet against the mental mindset of a guy that goes into that.
I agree, dude. I agree. I think if he could get 20 plus starts out of Scherzer, it's worth it.
Yeah. And so go to the other guy. What do you want?
Verlander too. And I think Verlander's going to pitch well in that park, and San Francisco's that's going to bode well for him. I think that was probably a factor in him going there, was that park. And listen, I played with Verlander for 2 years, his rookie year and his next year. No one works as hard as Verlander. Like the way he prepares his body, look how lean he is, big legs. He always have those big legs. He conditions in between starts. He's so good at preparing mentally preparing for the lineups that he faces. So like, you don't pitch into your 40s if you're not preparing at an elite level, and Verlander does that. So,
yeah.
And Scherzer does too. So that's why these guys are still around. And don't forget, Verlander won the Cy Young in 22, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So like,
Yeah,
that's not that long ago, Chinch.
No,
Paul Goldschmidt won the MVP in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Look at his numbers in September last year for the coming into the Yankees this year. Like, he's got some thunder left in there too. His hard hit rate's better than it was a couple years ago when he won the MVP. So, this guys like that, you start betting against these older guys, and there's a reason they're still playing. Yeah. They're still playing because they still think there's a lot left in the tank, not just a little bit, not just hanging on.
Right. And what talk about this? Like, when you're a smart hitter, like Goldschmidt, clearly high IQ hitter, right? How do you use that? How do you use your mind when your body is a little older? How do you use your mind to combat what you're losing physically?
Well, it's like Jim Thome said. As he got older, he started to like hunt pitches. When you're hunting the fastball all the time and you have that bat speed for the fastball, you can really sit fastball and then adjust to anything else off speed that's up. Thome was saying as he got a little older, he started to manage the game differently. This guy's with the numbers that they have. This is where your analytics kind of comes in. Like, okay, this guy is going to throw me first pitch 52% two seamers, or 70% four seamers up, or whatever it is. Hey man, I think at times, you might fall into a situation where you start guessing slider a little bit. You start guessing for some pitches as your bat speed goes down a little bit. But when you look at Goldschmidt though, dude, his hard rate, I think the biggest thing last year was chase rate was up and his whiff rate was up. That says more like not trusting yourself, losing your confidence early. Then you start wanting to make it happen. And whenever you try to make it happen, nothing happens in baseball. So you got to back it down. I think he started at the end of the year. Go look at his numbers in September. Chance 330, almost 1,000 OPS, like Paul Goldschmidt number. And St. Louis is one of the worst ballparks to hit in. I think that right field porch is going to help Goldie because he does hit some fly balls over in that direction. So, you make the adjustments there. If you start guessing a little bit, you start guessing in certain situations, you start, cheating a little bit to the fastball, maybe in the high leverage counts. So, you do get smarter. That does matter, man. You can't teach experience.
Yeah, we're riffing here, but one more quick thing on the Yankees staying there. Do you like, you're okay with DJ being the third baseman coming into spring training for the Yankees?
I don't love it, but I do think I'd like to see DJ. I think he had a great spring training last year, then broke his foot. So like to see DJ how he's doing at spring, and I think he's hitting too many ground balls on the pull side. But I do think that if he can get the ball in the air a little bit, I still think there's something left in the tank there.
Yeah, and on the flip side, where you look at it defensively and pitching wise, the Yankees, they added a lot of ground ball guys, man. And now Jazz back to second, and he's
Max Fried.
Right, Fried, forget about it. He's a ground ball machine. You need somebody to do that, and I would guarantee that LeMahieu might be one of the best guys you could put defensively at third base. So.
I was going to say, I still love DJ defensively, dude. This guy could flat out pick it wherever you put him, first, third, second, wherever you put him, he's going to pick it. So yeah, you're right, Ginge. I definitely, if he could hit a little bit, him and Cabrera could, bounce, be like a little tandem over there. I don't know if DJ can play every day with his health. So I think having Cabrera, maybe like a little platoon action, is not a bad thing. Yeah,
that is the one thing that the Yankees have been concerned about over the years. Like Stanton's DHing, he's not going to play the outfield, so it's not like DJ's getting that day off at the plate. Those guys are not playing or are not DHing that much this year on that route. Anyway, all right, what do you got going on today? You're charging. You got your Breakthrough Pro Charge shirt on.
Oh yeah, we have Breakthrough Pro 5 last night. We had week 5 last night, which was great. We finished up. We did another session with Pitt baseball on Saturday, kind of like getting them ready for the season, which was great. And then we're finishing up Kent State this weekend. We're driving up there, and we're just dominating, man. We're charging. We're having great sessions, man. Great sessions.
Awesome. All right, go check out the Breakthrough Pro stuff. Get in on the next one that Sean Casey does.
Yeah, we'll have the next one soon. We'll let everybody know.
Awesome. All right,
Chinchy. Have a great rest of the day, bro. Love you, man. Everyone out there, thanks for listening. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Subscribe and download. We can't say it enough. It helps. Yes. All right, man. See you, brother. See you tomorrow.
See you.